And I think we're live.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear us? Can you see us? Do you see two gentlemen, two handsome gentlemen? If you're in the chat room and you see us, then say the chat. What's up, everyone? This is our first Reggae Podclash. My name is Roger Rivas. We got Devin Morrison. Devin, how you doing today?
I'm good. What's up, Roger? We're
Same
finally
old,
doing
same
it.
old. It's super duper hot. I'm actually not wearing any pants right now because it's that hot. So,
Same. That's the reason for this view because it is hot. I'm in
and it's a
Venice, but
shame.
it's hot.
I wanted to make this one special, so I wanted to dress up. I had a cummerbund ready. I was all set, but last minute changes. What are you gonna do? But
The cummerbund would have been nice.
yes. So
Tough reggae.
everyone, this is the first one, so we want to kind of like let you know what we're about. Some of you may know Devin, some of you may know myself. Devin, what are you about? Introduce yourself.
Well, some call me Man-Like-Devin. My name is Devin Morrison. For years I played in a band called the Expanders. And lately I've been doing my solo thing. But I've been collecting reggae, listening to reggae for over 20 years. And Roger and I have always talked about doing a podcast and
Yeah.
talking about reggae. And we've got, we're going to get into what this podcast is, but like, I'm so super stoked right now to have like finally pressed live on this thing that we've been working on for a while.
Yes, I see the big red live thing, and it's a beautiful sight.
Finally.
Because Devin's right. We've been talking about this for a long time, and pre-quarantine, pre this era, we really wanted to get something going that like kind of a forum that you can create that would kind of bring lovers of classic reggae together, and also people that might have just gotten into reggae music through the modern stuff, because there's so many cool modern bands going on. But Devin talked a little bit about himself. My name is Roger Rivas. I've been in the reggae scene for a little bit, play organ, a couple of different bands, the Agrolites, the Long Beach Dub All-Stars, which Devin also plays with the Long Beach Dub All-Stars. So
I still don't feel like, even though I feel like I'm in the band, it's like such a crazy
right.
thing that I always forget to
You
say
and me
Long Beach Dub
both. I
All-Stars.
mean, they have such a history that it's kind of hard to say, oh, I'm in the band. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
it's such a
We're
big
in the
statement.
new incarnation of the Long Beach Dub All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, me and Devin been in this game for a little bit. I've known Devin for a super long time. How many years you think?
Well, a long time. I think the first time we really like played music together was 2006 when we backed Leonard Dillon, the Ethiopian, in Los Angeles. That was our first musical time together. But like that was probably the day I got your number in my phone. So
Uh-oh.
2006.
Yeah. And
A
we've been
long time
texting
now.
ever since. Yeah. It is a long time. And I think that adds to what I'm about to say, is that like I feel within the last 10 years, reggae music has just kind of changed for the better, for the worse, whatever. You talk to different people and everyone's got a different view on California reggae or American reggae in general. I've been fortunate enough to tour the world, so I hear all different views on just who's playing reggae nowadays. And so, yeah, I mean, we're going to, create this podcast and to try to just marry the two, bring every lover of reggae, whether it's classic stuff, whether it's new school stuff, whether you like 80s reggae, 90s reggae, any fans of Snow and Shaggy, who is Snow reggae? No, it ain't. Informer?
Yeah. No, Snow's got some cool stuff. Definitely. No, I think, yeah, you nailed it, because there are podcasts and shows that focus on, the old school roots, which is what you and I grew up listening to.
Right.
And then there are shows that are devoted to this new, it's not even new anymore, but the modern American Cali roots scene.
Right.
And what's cool about this is that you and I are in this kind of unique position where we came from the old school, as lovers of old school Jamaican music, playing that style, backing old Jamaican artists. But then we've been fortunate enough with our bands, the Agrolites and the Expanders, to tour in this kind of newer reggae scene with bands that are really big in America right now. So like we've got maybe a unique perspective and a unique opportunity to kind of bridge the gap. And it'd be great if we could get people who like one kind to like the other, but that's musical taste are subjective. So when I say bridge the gap, I don't necessarily mean everyone's going to just love everything now, but it's nice to bring the audiences together. And maybe if you're into newer American reggae, this will be a chance to discover some older stuff that you would not have discovered
right.
otherwise, and
Definitely.
vice versa. If you're into old stuff, realize that like there are actually some really interesting like current bands that are really cool that are playing great music.
I totally agree, man. The cool part is like reggae is so important to me and Devin. I mean, I know that sounds kind of, whatever, but it really is. I mean, it's just consumed our life, our adult life. I mean, it's really near and dear to our hearts. So that this is important to us. We want to kind of do both things justice, the modern stuff, the old school stuff. We want to hopefully, like Devin said, lead the horse to water, and maybe people can kind of figure out some new artists and get attached to some new eras. Maybe, people that don't know about rocksteady music, we'll play some 45s, and maybe it just sounds so foreign to them, but they fall in love with it. Like the first times we heard early reggae music, it just sounds foreign. It's kind of an acquired taste, but then you fall in love with it, and the rest is history. So,
and then and on top of that, this show is gonna every week we're going to have an interview. We're gonna have a special guest on, and so there's this may change, but our goal is to switch it up. So like one week we have an artist from the newer scene. The next week we try to get an old school artist, and I'm super stoked to just learn. We're talking about the music we can share, but I'm also really stoked to learn from the guests we have on, and learn from you and your musical knowledge. And so I think this is gonna. I'm super excited about this and happy we're finally doing it.
Yeah, it's so cool to be able to do this with Devin. I have a lot of respect for him. Great songwriter, great person. We kind of we bond in reggae and other things too. We're big fans of Lord of the Rings, and actually,
I'm true.
not.
We when we're on tour together, Roger and we share a room, and so I have pretty much forced Roger every night to listen to the Hobbit audiobook.
He's forced me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Roger is he's a good sport because he's really convinced me that he's into it now. And if that's like sarcasm, then it's like you've done a great job, because
I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
I feel bad playing this at all.
I guess I should break it to you now. I'm really not a fan of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm more of like a Gremlins, Howard the Duck kind of guy. Anybody that knows me, as that. But I'll humor it, Frodo. And
there's a place for Howard the Duck for sure.
Yeah, there's a place for Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Go watch that movie. There's a lot of stars in it. But yeah, man. So with this first show, what we're gonna do is like Devin mentioned, we got Josh from the Movement coming up, and so what we're gonna try to do is sprinkle it to where it's not one-sided as far as, okay, we have a lot of modern artists. We're gonna really try to make a huge effort to get some big names in here, old school names. So hopefully we can do that. I can't really say the names, but we got a list, and
we got a list, and some cool stuff lined up.
Some really, really cool stuff lined up, and man, hopefully we can. It's not there's no agenda to this. It's more of like we've been saying, just the love for the music, and hopefully.
And sorry to interrupt, but what's really cool. So Roger and I initially wanted this to be a podcast because we've been talking about this for years before the quarantine and live streams really took over. But like with this whole live streaming thing, I know it can get overwhelming to audiences because there's so much of it. But the other side of that coin is like, it's so great to have the live audience participation. Like I'm seeing everyone's comments right now, and that's like such a cool part of this. Like somebody commented, snow rules.
Oh yeah, man.
Snow, and so it's like this kind of thing. And so what
kind of snow are we talking about? Never mind, joking.
That's true.
I'm joking.
Explain yourself. What was your name?
Rated.
I'll find you. But Jay Shrub and Lucky Potato and Jay Shrub are both talking about snow.
No, get those guys away from each other. They got beef. Go ahead.
But so when Josh comes on and when we have different guests on, people will get a chance to ask questions in real time, and they won't have to call up a radio show and wait to hope they get through. We're going to see everyone's comments, and so I think that's like one of the really beautiful parts of this. It's a place for fans of reggae and people who are trying to learn more about reggae. Because I wanted to say that too. We're definitely not trying to come on as snobs here on this show. We are like, we want people to come who know a lot about reggae, people who are they don't know anything about reggae and they want to learn more. This is definitely the place for you. We just love talking about it, sharing it. Any opportunity we have to just talk reggae, we're going to do it. So that's why we're stoked on this.
Yeah, we're two chatty Cathys. Don't get us started, and then you start adding the red cups in the mix, and you know how that goes. So, but we're gonna this show will probably be an hour long to start off with.
My Jeeves mug.
What does that say? What would Jeeves do?
This is some other nerdy stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jeeves.
We'll talk about Jeeves.
Is that like website stuff? Ask Jeeves. Is that back in the day? Did I nail it?
The web thing came from the original Jeeves, which we'll talk about.
Oh man, we just lost 20 viewers in the last couple seconds talking about Jeeves. And we gained 20 Jeeves viewers. Okay, cool. Well, we'll turn this into a Jeeves podcast, won't we? All right.
Could do that.
Yeah,
but
man.
We have we have segments that this show will be evolving, but the first thing we thought that, because we got Josh from the movement coming up in a little
Josh.
bit, but so get your questions ready. But before we bring him, we thought that it would be cool every week to do something called Tune of the Week,
Yeah.
where I've selected a song from my record collection, Roger selected a song from his record collection,
Yeah.
and we give you guys a little snippet of it and talk about it a little bit and discuss some old school reggae music, because that's predominantly what you're going to get from us when you dig in our record crates. Even though we love it all, our record crates are filled with old school Jamaican music, and so we really want to take some time to share that with you guys.
Totally. And what's cool about that is that, we're not going to just go on YouTube and find a song. I mean, anybody could do that. And like I said, like Devin said, we're not trying to be snobs or haters, but it is important to us, the culture, and having, the 45s and stuff like that. It's kind of, we nerd out on that. So let me grab this real quick, right quick. Uh-oh, I think I broke your record, Devin. Sorry. So yeah, I'll get into the habit of showing y'all what records we're going to play, and we are doing something super cool here. Let me get into this little chicken here.
Oh yeah, oh, that's cool.
Look at that,
man, this is fun.
Yeah, we got a big production, a lot of millions of dollars into this podcast.
My savings account was well worth it.
So what do you think we should do, Dave? You think we should play the tune a little bit? You think we should
let's play this, give a little snippet. We're not going to play the full tune because you can go find this stuff on YouTube, so you don't want to sit here staring at us while we play this, but we're going to give you a little snippet of this and then talk about it for a second. That's what a record sounds like when it starts.
Yeah. And then it bangs hard.
You don't know hurricane. You got no problems to call your own. You got no problems to call your own. Your bread butter. Fling your swan but no lips on John. Fling your swan but no lips on John. Young God, you don't know hurricane. Young God, you don't know hurricane. You got no problems to call your own. You got no problems to call your own. Your bread butter.
That drum fill. Like any reggae drummers listening, listen to that again. Simple, but steady. All right, we can lift that up. Yes. So like before I even get into it, I see someone commenting ska, and that's one area where I really like. One of the things I'm really happy about with this show is we can
clear it up,
touch on things like this, and I feel like a lot of people have heard the term ska, have heard the term rocksteady, and to them it's kind of like it's become a synonym for old school.
Yeah.
Right. Which I understand why. It's not like we're all taught like some kind of detailed Jamaican history in school, but that ska and rocksteady actually refer to very specific eras of Jamaican music, not just stylistically, but in terms of the time they were happening. And that was not ska or rocksteady. That is reggae. That's early reggae, 1969, right when reggae started. And what's so great about this song? There's so many great things about this song, but first of all, one of the mysteries of Jamaican music is that you'll more often than you would expect, you'll get mislabels, right? It'll say
all the time,
this tune is by so and so, and it's not by so and so.
Right.
So this one, this record label, this record says by Mr. Foundation. This is not Mr. Foundation. Mr. Foundation is also known as Scully, the percussion player, and AKA Zoot Sims, who's a vocalist. He's got a bunch of great songs. That is definitely not him. That is Leonard Dillon of the Ethiopians. That's a very rare Leonard Dillon track.
Crazy.
And, unfortunately, we got, Roger and I got the chance to hang out with Leonard on several occasions, playing music with him. But I did, unfortunately, I mean, we'll talk about that in future episodes for sure. But unfortunately, when that was happening, 2006, 2007, I didn't get the chance to ask him about that tune because I didn't have it yet. So I don't know, like for sure that that's Leonard. But I was texting with Boss Harmony from the Dub Club today, and I was asking him like, do you have any, like, did you talk to Leonard about this? And he said no, but it definitely sounds like Leonard. And I mean, that's Leonard's voice.
Right.
And I was looking it up, and some people are selling this record and they're saying it's Leonard, but would you call that like a chugger, right?
I call it a chugger. It's like one of those things that sticks with you. I mean, we start describing these tunes when we're young, and it's just like a chugger. It sounds like it's just chugging. It's moving along the tracks. Yeah, it's just it's yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like the upbeat of reggae, right? People can call it a skank, a bang, chicket, whatever. So certain words to describe these characteristics of reggae. In my vocab, it's chugger. It's like that. Other chuggers for me would be a lot of the Sound Dimension stuff, Studio One stuff, where it's just chugging along. You know what I mean? Rupee Edwards.
Like it's easily Sound Dimension, right? Wouldn't you say, if you had to?
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like it. Yeah, and it's really rough, right? Because sometimes you can look at the actual style that the guitar's playing, the horns, and all that stuff, and that will sound like a Sound Dimension, but the actual mix won't. That's what hits me with that. What I just heard is it yes, every characteristic sounds like it would be Sound Dimension, but the mix kind of doesn't. So I'd be curious to see what variables contributed to that. Like maybe it's a different mix, for whatever reason. But yeah, man, that's a cool tune.
I mean, and the important thing is we could talk about these songs forever, but we've got an hour, so let's move on to. But people, please go look this up on YouTube. Go find this song. I would say buy the song to support the artist, but the reality with Jamaican music is they stopped making money off this the day after they made it, and who knows, like, who's going to get the money if you go pay $200 for this 7-inch on eBay. But,
right, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah. Very few artists actually.
All right, what you got, Roger?
So boom. We got this label right here, baby.
Ooh, good one.
So this is a cool tune. When I first...
Ooh, the reggae version.
I'll intro real quick. When I first heard this tune, I was like, yes. Because it was around the time where I started really getting into like that bubbly, early reggae, 1969, 70, 71 stuff. I mean, AKA Skinhead Reggae too. Granted, this isn't like that kind of a song, but it's like, it lends to that feeling for me. Because the organ too, I really am a fan of the organ. So yeah, check it out. What?
That's what happens when you.
So happens when you wear glasses. Think you're too cool. So what happens when you can't see the needle. Cheers. Can we cheers like that?
Artibella, my pretty little darling, please come home to me. Artibella, I saw you with the fella, and I don't like the idea. Artibella, you told me that you love me, there's no one else above me. Artibella, you took all my money and told me that you love me. Artibella,
Ooh, I would play the whole tune. Like Devin said, we only have.
Yeah. Next time this podcast can be 5 hours long. But anyway.
And it will be. So yeah, I had heard the ska version way before this version. And the ska version itself is such a classic. I mean, anybody that's been into ska music for a little bit just knows this. It's a part of everybody. When I started listening to this music back in the day, there was no YouTube, there was no easy access to get these songs. So a lot of it was compilations. Like over here in LA, we had places like the Warehouse and like Music Plus and stuff like that back in the day. But even before Blockbuster Music, Music Plus. Does anybody remember that? In the comments? But yeah, so you'd be lucky to find some compilations. And so Artibella, the ska version, was more than likely on these compilations. So hearing this was really cool because it's kind of like, oh, I'm only used to that one version, and then this comes out and it's so freaking bubbly. And yeah, I think there's actually like even a later version of Artibella by Ken Boothe as well. So
it's one of his standard tunes.
It's one of his standard tunes, and that's what that's how Jamaican music is, right? I mean, I did like this live stream last week on versioning and how Jamaican music is just, they're in the habit of, I don't want to say recycling because it has a connotation where it's negative recycling, but it's such a versioning. and whether you're a DJ, whether you're a vocalist, whether you're an organ player, whether you're someone like Mr. Ken Boothe who knows, oh, this is a hit, so let me try to do it in every single different feeling I could possibly do it in. But yeah, I really like this version. Phil Pratt is the mastermind behind the Sunshot label, and there's a lot of really cool tunes. I'd encourage people to go look that up. A lot of producers have their label, and it's very
I happen to have this out right now, but I just turned around because I remember. But yeah, Phil Pratt, this is a compilation of like Phil Pratt Rocksteady productions. Anyway, yeah, Phil Pratt, that's on the Sunshot.
And what's funny is Devin mentioned it. He's like, man, I think you spelled Phil Pratt wrong, but I spelled it exactly how it is on the record. So it's a trip, right? Because Devin just played a record where, they gave credit to the wrong artist, and then on this record they're just misspelling stuff. So
boom.
You know what? I think it's a testament to how fast they were pumping stuff out. I really do. I think it's just like boom, boom. Labels are misplaced as far as it's all crooked and stuff like that. And I think it adds to the coolness, the cool factor.
Right. And I can only speculate on this, but I think because I think you're right, and I think one of the reasons they were pumping things out so fast is because unlike America, these songs were so like oriented towards the dance hall. It's like let's press this so we can play it tonight at the dance, and have a new song because we need to. That's part of our business here. We're like we're running not just a label, but we're running a sound system. People are coming to hear us play music live. We got to have new tunes. So I can imagine that. Imagine that, like, because you run a studio, it's like imagine like having that pressure of like you don't just run a studio, but you run a sound system, and you know that like I got to record this Delirium's track tonight so that I can bring this to the dance tonight, and so pressing it and then getting to the dance and realizing like I spelled Deliriums without an L or whatever.
Like, and then you get to the point where you let that go. It's like you'll have a what is it? Man. What's the Peter Tosh name? Peter Touch, but I mean that's something kind of different. But
I think that was intentional. But
that's intentional, but that's a wrong example. But the point is there's constant misspellings and constant mistakes. But yes, that's our segment. We're gonna do this every single week, man. We're doing this every Saturday. So bear with us. Like Devin said, pumping stuff out. We're going to pump out new content for you guys every single Saturday.
And we'll have a little more time to talk about it, I think, in the future, because we took a while at the top to intro the show to everybody, but
very true.
We're figuring it out. But you can go look up all this stuff. This is easily available, and go look up the original ska version of Artibella too, because that's
just type it in YouTube. You'll find all that stuff. So without further ado, though, I think it's time for the next segment, right, Dev?
Let's do it.
Cool.
So right now,
yeah, man.
Ooh. Yo, what's up, Josh?
Who is here?
What it is?
What's cracking, dude? How you been today? How's the weather over there?
Today was just a beautiful day, man. One of the best of spring so far, for sure.
Fill people in. Me and Devin are live from Los Angeles. And where are you at?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, way on the other side of the country.
Charleston, Charleston Earthworms. Yeah. Is there like a school, Charleston Earthworms? I don't know if there is.
I don't know. Charleston.
Hey, if I had a school, that would be our mascot, straight up.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's the Earthworms. I don't know. Could be.
Oh man, yeah.
Are you you're not from Charleston, are you? Originally?
I'm from Columbia, which is like 2 hours away. So
sweet,
I've
dude.
been here for like 5 years. So
heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're stoked to have you, man. You are straight up our first guest.
Thank you, Josh.
How did I land that? That's fucking crazy.
We literally grabbed every single name of every single modern band that's playing right now, and you won the raffle.
That's awesome. I didn't even know I was in the raffle. That's crazy.
Oh, it was an intense process. It held up the date of this show for a long time.
Yeah, itself. It took a long time, but we did it
last year.
It's worth it. It's worth it because we finally have you here, and man, I mean, I really wasn't familiar with the movement and yourself. I mean, look, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to tickle. Well, can I say that right now? Tickle the balls. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be real. And so I did this session with Johnny Cosmic, and we did this thing where we're in the studio, me, Miguel Gil Sharon, and he plays this track, right? And it hits the loudspeakers and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like the music sounding. I'm like, well, I think it was in one room, and I was in another room. So I walked into the engineer room, the mixing room, and then your vocal came on, and I was like, what the fuck? I told Johnny, I'm like, who's this? He proceeded to fill me in on everything. So I was like pleasantly surprised, man, and I was stoked, man. And then so the name, the movement, and your name, Josh Swain, always stuck with me after that. And so I became a fan, man.
Wow,
for sure.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
That's intense, man. I appreciate that coming from you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It was it's a very unique voice, man. And you can have a unique voice
dope voice.
Yeah. And you could have a unique voice and it not be cool. It could be like,
right. Yeah. That's true.
So you're definitely not in that bracket, yeah, man.
It's been
I
like,
appreciate that, man. Thank
you.
Dude,
it's been super cool for me to see like what's happened with the movement, because I have something to show you. But before I do, the Expanders, the first tour I did with the Expanders was with the Green. The Green took us on tour, the Green from Hawaii, and it was the Green, the Expanders, and the Movement. And that was the first tour I really did. And it was like one of my introductions to this whole scene, So for me, like right from the beginning, before I heard about a lot of these bands that are huge, I knew who the Movement were because we did a tour together. And I've watched the Movement like just go, they do that thing that every band tries to do, and the Movement does it successfully, just climbs the ladder. But check this out, Josh. I've got this poster from the Doug Fir Lounge. Yeah. So this is June 17th, 18th, 2013. You can see the Green, the Expanders, the Movement, and the Movement's first of three, which would not be the case today. But if I can get this in front of the camera, you can see Josh's signature, right? Josh, that's your signature, right there. You see it? Bottom right.
Yes, it is.
Bottom right. That's you, right there.
Yeah, that's worth a lot of money now, man.
Oh yeah. No, it's not. I tried to sell it, and
you try to sell it to me, no doubt.
But give it another 10 years. But do you remember that tour? Because like it was a long time ago, and I was gonna say like I remember certain things about that tour, but I don't really like remember. But I remember those two shows.
You mentioned Doug Fir. Did you guys stay at the hotel?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of a thing about the Movement, especially back then, is I don't remember anything. You know what I mean? Like we were just we were not very good, for a long time for the majority of our career, and it's because we were so fucked up all the time. I don't know, can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
we were gonna name the show Fucked Up, and that didn't really look good on the logo.
I mean, it's crazy, like you say, now we're doing a little bit better, and it's really just because we stopped doing all that stuff. So when you asked me, do I remember like maybe 10 minutes of that tour, and 10 minutes of like every tour, since
Amen, brother.
A long time, man. Whew.
I thought it was just me. Yeah. Dang, I wish I would have gone on tour with you guys. Yeah.
Back then it was fun. We're not so fun anymore.
Yeah, you gotta pace yourself, huh? You're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I know. It's like, I need another water. Oh, fuck.
There you go. Yeah, I'm drinking water too. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Stay hydrated.
So we're gonna open this up to live. If anyone's got some live comments, some questions out there for Josh, we're gonna open that up in a little bit. But I did have a question myself. Sure. Josh and I did an interview more than that now, last year sometime for Rootfire, which was one of my favorite interviews I've done. We talked about a lot of cool stuff. And we kind of started talking about this, but didn't get really deep into it. And, I wanted to ask you this because you're the main lyricist for the Movement. And as someone myself who's a songwriter and really loves music, loves lyrics when I listen to music, like a big kind of point of contention in this like American reggae scene that I've heard just from audience members and seeing like comments left on like various artists' Facebook pages and stuff when they post anything political is like, oh, leave the politics out of it, which to me, to me, when I hear the word politics, it doesn't mean literally just politics. It means like anything serious. I'm trying to like tune out and just, just listen to music. And I don't want that to come into my world right now, which I understand. That's, that's a valid reason to, want to escape the world through music. But us playing reggae music and you being a reggae writer, reggae was born as political music, for lack of a better term. And so I just wondered, what you if you've encountered that kind of, sentiment in audience members across the country, and like what your thought on that is, talking about politics in songwriting.
Well, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even try to consider myself like a reggae writer or a reggae singer or anything reggae. I mean, to be honest, I know very little about reggae music or anything Jamaican at all. We talked about that on our last interview. It's like, I'm very unlearned in the ways, you know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like, I'm kind of like doing a disservice or whatever, but I don't really claim to be that. You know what I mean? I love a lot of reggae music, and I respect it, but I don't claim to try to do that. If I could be reggae music, that would be amazing. We are like in the reggae category somehow in like Spotify and all that, you know what I mean? But a lot of bands are, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't really think that's
no, I mean, I think you're playing it down a little bit. I mean, you guys are,
well, I mean, we have like the skank in the background, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like,
I love it. I love how transparent you're being. I love that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But
it's so true.
Yeah, I can't lie about it. I don't know like maybe 2% of what you guys know about the culture and about the scene, about old school reggae music and Jamaican music in general. So, but I like a lot of it, and I listen to it a lot. And like, even when I don't want to listen to it, it's being played around me 24/7 on the bus, and you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I love it, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But when it comes to like being political or bringing any kind of politics or any kind of serious issues, like I don't, I've said maybe a couple things. I try not to do it too much, just because it does get that kind of negative feedback, and it's like, well, I just kind of don't want to go down that road unless I feel like really strongly about it, right?
Yeah.
So, and most of the things that I think anyway are most of the things that the majority of people that are kind of like watching what I'm saying anyway is what they're thinking, like Trump sucks, it's like, why am I gonna go fucking say that? It's like, everybody knows. If you don't know, then I don't need to be the one to tell you. You're never gonna fucking, you don't know that, and you're just never gonna know.
Right.
So, but like, there have been a few things recently, like some environmental stuff, that I posted that are like reposted from like Juan will post something, occasionally, and I'll be like, oh shit, I need people to know that, or I'll just be brought to light of some kind of environmental issue, and I'll be like, yeah, people probably don't know about that, you know what I mean? So let me just, and I feel like, I'm glad that I just saw that information, so let me get that out there in case nobody knows what's going on, like, drilling in Alaska, or they're doing some dumping oil or some shit somewhere, and you're like, fuck, man, people need to understand what's up. And so I'll do that occasionally when I feel like, man, this really is something that I believe in, and I don't think anybody's gonna really see this unless I post it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But even when I've done that just a few times, yeah, you'll get people like, leave this fucking shit. And
you can't please everyone, right?
But those people, it's like, yeah, well, it's just, it's ridiculous. And I just tend to laugh at those people. And, to anybody that wants to be, to voice their opinion about everything, there's bands like, take like Giant Panda, for example. James is just really adamant about using his platform to inform people. And he should, because I've learned a lot through that. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people will learn from James, and I think that's good. And they do get backlash. You know what I mean? But fuck people that are gonna say some negative shit about that. So, props to people who speak their mind. And don't worry about the haters. Just do what you do, and that's
awesome, man. I mean, it's so cool that what you said earlier into what you're saying now is because you're just being real with it, and so that's such a testament to what we're trying to do with this podcast, just be real with it, and it's so cool because a lot of modern reggae artists, they're playing reggae music, they're getting labeled as reggae music, and it's cool for them. It's like this whole thing where they don't, like you said, I mean, a lot of people don't even know the old school stuff, but it doesn't really, for me, it's a win situation all across, because you get people that are introduced to the word reggae, and maybe they dig deeper, you know. So it's this whole like we're handing off, we're constantly handing off the word reggae, and you know, everyone takes their own journey in it. Whether it's someone who is in a band that plays reggae music, it's labeled as reggae music, but you know, maybe finds writing inspiration from other places. It's a beautiful thing, you know. It's not because it constantly just like I said, when I was young, everyone gets into reggae music somehow, and it has their own journey and their own story. And you know, we're just here to share it. Dude, you guys have a new single. I don't know if it's new anymore. The Alien.
Yeah.
But am I right that Collie Buds was involved in that? Is that?
Yeah, he wrote that rhythm.
Dude, so how was it? Did you get to meet him? How was it working with them? Are you? Tell us about that.
I've known Collie for a while. We've played a bunch of shows together, and we've hung out a few times, and I've seen him at the studio a lot. And so I would say like we're kind of friends. You know what I mean? I love him to death. He's a super nice guy, a very humble dude, and really like loving towards you when you play with him. You know what I mean? The first time we opened up for him was like, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe something like that. And he came down to the green room, you know, he's like, yo, I just want you to know, man, I love that song. You have it, you know, and he's like singing it, you know, and I'm like, you know, like starstruck, you know what I mean? Cause I knew of Collie from, you know, way back when, Come Around came out, you know, and so for me, it was like this moment of, wow, you know, meeting him was so dope. But since then, I've got to hang out with him and meet him a bunch of times. And he was on our record. He actually did the Habit remix a couple years after that.
Sweet.
You know what I mean? So, but on this one, it wasn't really, I don't even think I've talked to him since the song came out, or even before that. It wasn't like really a collab. He, you know, him and Johnny made that. I think he wrote it and Johnny helped mix.
Right.
Just that rhythm, and you know, he's got 21 artists on there. Yeah, I mean, basically it was just like, you know, Reed shot me an email like, hey, do you want to be on this? It'll be cool. And I was like, yeah, for sure. If Collie wrote it, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I just did it on my like home studio when I was on tour. I brought my computer and stuff, and I did that
Wicked.
At rehearsal. And then Johnny like went through and mixed and did a good job like he always does.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, so you know, you were just first of all, I just want to share this comment. Title Theory Reggae says the movement are 100% reggae. If you broke their songs down and took the effects away, their music is something you would have heard 30-40 years ago. So I mean, you know, whether or not you that's something you agree with, that's, you know, you're definitely like you guys are coming across. And you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but some other members of the band like Gary Dredd, big up Gary Dredd, are like
what
are big Jamaican music fans.
Oh yeah,
correct. Yeah,
and that's
so
what
I mean,
was talking about when I said even when I'm not really trying to hear reggae music, I'm gonna be hearing it because G's playing it, you know, 24/7.
Right.
And, Jeeves, Gary. Yeah,
I was like, dang, he's got a mug. Yeah.
Jeeves.
But yeah, I mean, you know, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you know, it would be like if you just put on like a reggae compilation of old school reggae music. I'd be like, yeah, I know that song, and I can maybe sing the chorus, you know what I mean? And you'd be like, well, who is that? I'd be like, I have no fucking idea who that is, but I know this song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, it lends itself, right? Because I heard you have the nickname. I got a lot of nicknames, but you got the nickname Captain Hook. And I was like, player. But then I was like, okay, cool. You know, so I think read into it a little more, and you're, you know, a lot of people, you know, they dig you for your hooks, right? So like, how did you get that name? And how did that happen?
Back in the day, man, we started out in like 2002,
2004.
Like that. Yeah, the first record came out in 2004.
I know. Got my research though.
But so it was
your favorite color is blue.
Man. It is.
Blue.
What shade though? You don't know that.
A little sky blue.
Teal.
That's true. No.
I'll tell you. See, we do it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
you had fettuccine last night.
I did.
Whoa.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Captain Hook.
Apparently,
Captain Hook.
Apparently, I was just good at writing the hooks to songs, and homeboy gave me that name, Hook. So it kind of stuck, and
Nice.
yeah, that's how it went down.
Cool.
That's an excellent nickname. I'm surprised that we don't hear that more often.
So if
Captain
I
Hook.
ever if I release a solo record ever, I'll go by the name Hook.
Nice.
Heck yeah. I dig it, man. Sounds hard.
Well, people out there watching, if you got anything you want to ask Josh, now is the time.
Ask away.
But while you queue up your questions, I got one more, on the subject of reggae, because that's what we're really, always talking about.
And while you ask that, can I open up something over here, a beer?
Yes, please do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Devin.
You kind of answered this a little bit for me last time, but are there any artists right now, reggae or otherwise, that you're particularly inspired by?
There's this band, I don't know if you ever heard of them, called the Expanders.
What?
And they're super dope.
Ba, 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 ba.
My girlfriend's current favorite band of all time, and maybe my favorite or second favorite. I don't know. So no, we got the Expanders, who I started listening to quite a while ago, and Devin, you know all about them.
I do.
And Devin, you are like literally, top 3 my favorite singers and artists.
Stop it.
And,
Yeah.
turned a lot of people on, like in my kind of Charleston world over here. A homie of mine that I just met recently, he's like, yeah, my roommate knows you, and I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, he knows the movement. He's like, and then I went to where'd he go to? Poorhouse here, I think, maybe. And he's like, yo, I saw this band called the Expanders. And he's like, this fucking band blew my mind. And this guy is like, he doesn't really like music. Like, it has to be real music. You know what I mean? Like, it has to have like some kind of real integrity to it, or else he just won't fucking listen to it or like it or talk about it. But anyway, he was like, I immediately went and bought all of their records, all of their CDs, and all of their merch that they had at their merch table that night. And I was like,
2 shirts.
damn. Yeah, 2 shirts.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, yeah, dude, I know the Expanders really well. He's like, who is it? Devin and Butcher? And and then he said, Chickus or Chickus,
That's him.
or something like that. And I was like,
this is obviously a true story.
Yeah, but so anyway, yeah, I mean, a lot of people like you guys, and so do I. But also, and I think I've told you this last time too, but I mean, I haven't really changed since I think last time we talked. I listened to you guys, John Brown's Body, and like Chronics is basically like my top 3 bands that I listen to, and
Sweet.
And it's like, then like I have like a 90s alt rock mix that I made on Spotify, where I put it on and listen to like the alternative shit that I listened to when I was like, my early teens and stuff, and it brings back memories. And I have like a hip hop mix of all my thuggish old school shit that I listened to back in the day when I was in high school, and drinking 40s and smoking blunts in the car and cruising down the street and shit. And so I have like a really eclectic like a whole conglomerate of music, that I like to listen to. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to like my favorite bands to listen to right now, it's Expanders, JBB, and Chronics.
What do you think about like the new Chronics stuff? I think Chronics has released some stuff since we last talked.
He just released one new single, and I listened to it like twice, and it didn't like grab me right away. And I haven't listened to it since. Let me see what that is real quick. Do you know what the name of it is?
Yes. I say yes, and I mean
no.
I've listened to it a bunch.
I do not.
Chronic seems like he's gotten. I mean, if you right, are you a fan of the whole Dread and Terrible album, all that stuff back in the day? And it's like the sounds definitely. Chronics is consistent in quality stuff, and he's a great songwriter, and his lyrics are crazy. But it does seem like he's evolved to try out a couple different vibes with the more modern stuff. Even the last album, right?
Chronology. Yeah, De La Move is this latest.
De La Move, that's it.
Yeah, and it's.
Oh heck yeah, I like that.
Like it was kind of like a little too slow or something, maybe.
Oh, what?
You know what I mean?
I want
There
in.
you go. Yeah, you know, actually, the more I hear this
But
song, 'cause
anyway.
my first reaction was kind of like
I'll have to
yours,
listen to it again.
but that was my first
Mhm.
reaction to some other Chronic stuff that I now love. And the more I listen to that song,
Me too.
like right now when you put it on, I was like, oh shit, I want to go listen to that. Like
Ah,
it's got this
Right,
cool,
me
like
too.
he's not afraid to try stuff, and it's got this kind of like it's not straight up Naya Bingy, but it's like got this kind of like Bingy vibe, and I don't
right.
know, I'm digging it. It's that song's growing on me for sure.
Yeah, there's been a lot of songs where I'm like, oh, I didn't like that right away, like Out There, whatever that song is. You know, I was
Right.
like, I'm not really a fan, and now it's like Out There, Out There. Out
Yeah,
There.
it'll grow on you for sure.
Oh,
Some chronic
it's
thing.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that one. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. That's one of the few he's got on vinyl, and I have the 7-inch.
Nice.
And yeah, that's one of my go-tos.
Chronics.
Dude, somebody where is Whitney O'Neill says
Whitney.
where is she? Oh, it's because but she says she got engaged at at the February 14th Santa Cruz show. She says, "Love you, Josh. Got engaged at the 214 Santa Cruz show."
Whoa. And she just met that dude that night too. So that
Yeah.
shows you how dope
That's
you
the
guys
power
are.
of your lyrics. That's Captain
That's just
Hook right there.
crazy.
They didn't
Opening
even know
band, she
each
met
other.
this dude.
They didn't even
Engaged
know
by
each
the end of the
other
night.
until that night. Yeah.
That's also Santa Cruz. It's probably the Catalyst.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
Yeah, they met.
A lot of
And then
baby
someone
making.
did have a question for you, Josh. Juan Love. What's up, Juan?
One love.
He wants to know, Josh and Roger, maybe you could throw this up. Josh,
Yeah. You're throwing it
I
up.
don't need to tell you.
Shoot,
that was
you got that. You got that.
Josh, what was your initial reaction to hearing Charlie Tuna's flow on Breaking the Glass? Shit goes hard.
First of all, what up, Juan? I love you, brother.
Juan's a shit.
Yep.
Juan is the shit. My initial reaction was, damn. I think we all said the same thing. You know, just the initial reaction to hearing him say, "Yeah, I'll do it," was like, "What?"
Right.
So, because I mean, it's like, fuck, I don't deserve to have Charlie Tuna on my song, but okay, I'll take that. And for him to do that just shows what, you know, a good guy he is. To be on our track, it's fucking incredible. I still can't get over it, but yeah, our initial reaction was crazy because, you know, it wasn't like he sent over a version and was like, here's like the demo, you know, what do you think? Should I change this or blah blah blah? And yeah, I'm just reading Mike's comment there, but yeah, he just sent it over done, completed,
right,
and badass,
and murdered it, right? That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, it was just immediately awesome, and we didn't touch it, you know. So
dope, man.
Just how it was.
I love how he kind of has made an impact on like the reggae scene. You really think about it, you know. When I first heard about Charlie Tuna was through Ozo Motley, and then of course he had, you know, Jurassic 5. But he's been doing a lot of stuff with reggae artists nowadays. You know, everything from Slightly Stupid to you guys to the list goes on and on. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, we met him.
Cheers to Charlie.
On the Stupid tour, and he was just as cool as everybody else. Really like available and open and listening to everybody's shit and like being
that
there.
That was tall as fuck too, huh?
What's that?
That was tall as fuck too. Like I walked in. One time I was like a Slightly Stupid bus. I had to look up. I was like, "Hey, what's up, dude?
What you doing?
What's cracking?"
Yeah,
he's a funny dude though. Funny dude too.
I want to shout out my man Mike Powers right there. Dude saved my life. He said he bought 3 shirts that night, Devin, not 2. That was who I was talking about.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
3 shirts. Well, yeah, we had there might have been some tours. No, I'm kidding. We had some merch.
3 shirts.
We got it together at one point. Josh, Tim Egan wants to know how would you say? I think he means to say, how would you say your evolution as a person just since 2013 has influenced your songwriting as a lyricist and musician?
Where is this comment? Because I kind of didn't understand.
It came. It should be on the screen right now.
Oh, Josh, would you say your evolution as a person has influenced your songwriting? Well, I mean, you know, since 2013, is that what I said? That's so long ago.
Because we were talking about how like we did that tour and you don't remember much of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in 2000. 2014, I got sober, you know what I mean? So I ended up having to just kind of put everything down
Oops.
because I was gonna no, no,
I'm
it's
joking.
fine. Yeah, but I mean, it's like I had to like do something because I mean we were fucking terrible, man. I was embarrassing myself and my band on stage a lot, and it's just like I wasn't good, uh, I wasn't right. I wasn't being true to myself or the band or my or music or true to anything really. And I was going through the motions and getting sick of touring and sick of music and blah blah blah. I really just had to do something about it. And since then, like I kind of look at all the albums before then, and I think we put out something in 2013, put out Side by Side or something, and all those records to me, man, I'd listen to them back, and to me, it just, uh, I don't want to offend any fans out there that like those old records, but I really can't listen to them, and
That's that's okay. That's what every
yeah,
musician
sure,
says about their own.
exactly,
Oh
but
yeah, for sure.
it's for me though too, but it's like for a different reason. Like I might be okay with the music if I was okay with myself during that time. You know what I mean? Like, but I just remember like being all fucked up and just like, man, not putting any effort into it or anything. And
Right.
but so since then, it's like, you know, when we did Golden in 2016, that was like the first record we and the first batch of songs we ever wrote together. It's kind of like a band that wasn't all messed up all the time, and it was like a different situation, and it influenced a lot of my lyrics just about you know if you can think clearly, your lyrics sometimes will get better. I guess in some cases they might have gotten worse, but um writing a
Did you
lot
did you
about.
find you had a lot of like the writing just came naturally after that because you had stuff to write about?
Well, I feel like writing has kind of always come naturally, you know what I mean? But now it's like in the older records, like I'd repeat like a verse, you know what I mean? Because I just would be too like whatever to write a whole another verse, you know what
Right.
I mean? So I just repeat the first verse.
Who doesn't?
But
Copy that mug. Copy that
right,
mug. Copy
but
paste.
you know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like yeah, I had more shit to say for sure,
Right.
um, and yeah, I mean, I feel like my shit got better once I stopped drinking. So.
I'll tell you straight up, dude. That's awesome to hear because you know how many artists and look at all three of us have been on the road and we know it's hard and then you got all that stuff right in front of you. But you know how many artists can't turn that around? You know how many artists just become their own worst enemies and they stay in that funk and or it just they stay in a certain like tier and then they wonder, well, how come I'm not, you know,
Right.
progressing? And it's like,
Right.
dude, you got this thing on your back, man. You gotta like, go find yourself. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, hats off to making
Yeah,
that
props.
transition, man.
Thanks.
Applaud you, bro.
I
Yeah,
think we got time for definitely one more question, and I'd be interested to hear your answer to this. Chris Robbins wants to know, how did you return? Trying to dissect the lyrics in that song and had to ask.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a song about about sobriety in a lot of ways. How did I return? It's like it's kind of just exactly what I was just talking about. It's the same thing when looking back, like I don't know how many times I've tried to get Reed to take some of these videos off YouTube of shit that,
Ah,
you know what I mean? I'm like, can you get that shit off of there, man? It's fucking terrible. And just cause, I'm like fucking 50 pounds overweight and just 2 beers in each hand and then, playing a guitar and just sweating and singing terribly and fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I wish I could, take that away. And, the return is about like, it's the last line is like, now I've returned, it's like, it took a long time to, I guess, find out who I was, and talk a lot about like in my normal life, we talk a lot about how we, when you are kind of like an addict, an alcoholic, like I was, it's like you stay in the same fucking age since you're like 14 years old. You know what I mean?
good call. Yeah.
And here I am, like late 30s. I'm still 14, and it's like, you kind of don't know who you really are. I didn't anyway. So that's my story. I didn't know really who I was, and I had become like this weird, like touring, drinking, like robot. You know what I mean? That's like playing, touring, drinking.
And it doesn't become fun anymore, huh? It's just like,
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a thing, and we weren't doing well. You know what I mean? It's not like we were playing these dope fucking arenas and like having a blast. It's like 20 people at a show somewhere, and you're like, like let's drink this away. You know what I mean?
right.
So it sucked, and the return is just I can't even think of what the lyrics are right now, but it's yeah, it's about like returning to who you really are, I guess.
Yeah. Tyler
Nice, man.
Tyler says this hits me hard. I was fucked up at the last show. I saw the movement. Don't remember much of it. Makes me sad. I mean, that's like we could do we could do a whole podcast series on this, that's just
Right,
Could.
I'd
We
say
totally could.
don't beat yourself up, Tyler.
Yeah.
Don't, please don't.
Yeah. Well, man, like we could do this. I mean, I could talk to you for hours. But thank you so much for coming on, Josh. Like the
brother.
people who are tuning in are saying, I personally, I told you this last time, and I've told you this before, but like I really, really love your songwriting. I'm super, I feel very, very honored to get to play in a scene that has guys like you in it, and I'm just stoked.
Same
It's
here.
super cool that you were our first guest.
Yeah, man.
Always
That is really
remember
cool.
this.
Thank you guys so much.
Really stoked, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love that you're so honest and transparent on these questions and just letting people into your world. So that's the coolest part, man. When I see interviews, or when I do an interview or whatever the case is, you kind of want to stay away from just the cookie cutter answers and questions. And so I'm really, really stoked that this segment was just being real, dude.
For sure.
Yeah,
Where
brother.
can for people who might be tuning in and like aren't super familiar with the movement, where can they go check out the movement? And also, in this time where musicians are being hit super hard because we can't play shows, that's how we make money. Like, what's the best way for people to support the movement right now?
You can go to themovementvibe.com.
Nice.
And I think you can get to everything through that website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel too. That kind of helps a lot. Tell people to subscribe to it. And
Totally.
yeah, go to the Movement Vibe. I think we'll have some like new merch and stuff coming out pretty soon too. To kind of like sustain people's need to buy shit, I guess. And then I think we got a new we'll have a new single coming out pretty soon too.
Nice.
Maybe a new video. And then I think Soja has got a tune coming out that I'm on as well too. I think
Cool.
that comes out
Dope.
soon. So I'm like super, super proud and excited for that too. And yeah, go to themovementvibe.com, and I think that can take you to all the other places.
Cool. And Jennifer Scott
Nice, man.
on Facebook says, join us fans on Movement Fan Group. So there's obviously a Facebook fan group that's
it's I think it's MVMT Junkies, JUNKIES.
Sweet.
So
Movement
people
Junkies.
go join that, go support the movement, go support all musicians in this time. We wish we were playing. We'll be out there soon. Josh will be out there soon. Roger will be out there soon.
I'm gonna stay in, dog.
Well, okay,
I'll be out there. I'll support.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I kind of like this quarantine.
That's not bad, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, thank you, Josh. Appreciate
Thank you
it,
so
man.
much, Josh, man. We appreciate it, brother.
Man.
And we
bro.
are stoked to have Mr. Josh on
Yes.
here with us.
Man.
Wow. That was cool, man.
Yeah,
Josh is a cool dude.
Great.
I really dig it. I'm gonna have to make this flow better next time, but check it out.
No, we're learning.
And boom.
Yeah. So we want to, man. So big thanks to our guest, Josh.
Yes.
We that was great talking to him. Wish we could talk longer, and we're going to figure out how to make this flow. But
right.
So we got a couple things we want to tell you guys about. First of all, thank you everyone for tuning into this show.
Cheers,
share
everyone.
it with your friends. Share it. Tell your friends about it. We're going to be doing this every single Saturday. For the foreseeable future.
20 years.
Yeah, we're going to make this last way past quarantine.
Yeah.
Every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and next week. So every week we're going to have a really special guest. We're going to alternate between, new new artists. When I say new, I mean Cali, American reggae artists and old school Jamaican artists. Next week, we're super stoked to announce that we have Clinton Farron of originally of the Gladiators
OG in the
and Boogie Brown Band, been doing his own solo stuff for years. He lives in Seattle, but he's a Jamaican OG, recorded at Studio One with the Gladiators. One of my favorite songwriters. He's super active right now, doing live streams all the time. He's got a live stream going on tomorrow. So go check out Clinton Farron, but he's going to be on live with us next Saturday. I can't wait for that. So be sure to tune in each and every Saturday. Before we jump, we want to tell you guys about some stuff we got coming up. First of all, Roger and I have both been playing in Long Beach Dub All-Stars for a couple years, and Long Beach Dub All-Stars have a brand new album coming out May 29th.
Gold.
Roger is on all of the songs. I play on 5 of the songs. I had the opportunity to write one of the songs and co-write some of the others. Roger wrote a bunch of the rhythms and co-wrote some stuff. We're really, really stoked on this record, so look out for that. We're probably going to have the Long Beach Dub All-Stars guys on before the album comes out to talk about that, but make sure you go pre-order the new Long Beach Dub All-Stars album. For myself, I am doing every Tuesday, starting this coming Tuesday, April 28th, at 5 p.m. I'm going to be doing, we're calling it Songbook Sessions. You can find it at rootfire.net/TV. And I've been doing a few of them, so if you've seen them, you know what it is. But I just come on, play guitar, sing some stuff I've been writing, some old Jamaican stuff. I'm going to be doing that every Tuesday for a while. And what do you got coming up, Roger?
I got nothing. All right, guys. Later. Devin's so right about that Long Beach Dub album, though. Don't sleep on that. That's going to be huge because, I mean, dude, they haven't released something in a while, and me and Devin are fortunate to be in the crew, and it's just the whole studio writing process was just very special. I mean, I've been in many new album writing processes, and so is Devin, and this one is just so unique because it's such a melting pot, and some original guys that are just, they keeping the flag burning. Keeping the flag going. I don't know what
they burn some flags in the studio.
However, the case is they have such a unique story, right, with the whole Sublime thing, and I think that's what all these Cali bands are. Those are the godfathers, the creators of this kind of thing. So it's a very special album. Go mark your calendars, May 29th. I can't talk enough about it myself. I was fortunate enough to be working with Mr. Jason Mraz. He recorded a whole reggae album, and I was fortunate to play keys on it, and he just released his new single, Look for the Good. So you can go on Spotify, check that out. You can find the official video on YouTube. He's doing some live streams himself, and he's a very, very funny dude, very, very chill dude, and very talented. I mean, I didn't know much about Jason. I knew a couple of the songs that, the radio hits, but being able to really spend time with him and seeing his writing process and, how he approaches reggae music. He's a true lover of reggae music. And so this is genuine. This is a genuine album. So please go check that out. Our Instagrams, reggae_Raj, and Devin's has no underscore.
No underscore. Man-Like-Devin. Go follow, please. We're doing all kinds of stuff all the time, but we really want to appreciate Devin's YouTube channel. Someone asked, well, YouTube is a thing that, like, because I'm not the most technologically savvy. I'm just kind of like realizing the importance of like doing the YouTube thing. So I've started a YouTube channel. It's probably got 0 subscribers. There's nothing on it yet, but that's going to change in the coming weeks. I've got a whole acoustic album that I'm working on with Roger that's coming out pretty soon. It's almost done, and all this is going to be uploaded to that.
As the kids would say, it's fire. Fire emoji.
We'll see how it goes, but it's been fun. But we'll talk about that some other time. But go follow Roger, go follow me, and please come back every Saturday to watch this at Rootfire TV. Big up Rootfire, and big up everyone for tuning in. We're really, really stoked on this. Please, send us an email if you got any ideas, if you got any questions. Hit us up at the Reggae Podclash at gmail.com.
Yes.
Let us know if you got some ideas, if you got some questions for Clinton Farron next week that you want to make sure we don't miss in the comment stream. And just hit us up if you tell us you like the show, tell us you hated the show, whatever.
We need to know what's up, man, so we can make changes or not make any changes. So
right.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone so much, man. Thank you, Roger. This was like
thank you, Devin.
Fun.
I'm fun, and
we're finally got to do this.
Yes, people. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.